What's going on, everyone? So today is the official start of NBA free agency. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Lakers do. There's a lot kind of at stake here, even potentially, right? One, reports came out from Shams and then Rich Paul's recent comments after LeBron James opted in signal that, like, hey, if the Lakers don't do some stuff, the Lakers don't make an impact to where LeBron feels like they have a chance to win, then he may request a trade and be out of here. Right? Now, I know some people might think that that's for the best. Depends on what you get in the return. Because you got to imagine, like, how many teams are selling the farm for, 41-year-old LeBron James that they don't know, like, is this his last year? Is he playing 2 or 3 more years? Like, how is this going to work, right? So there's some uncertainty there. Also, you're not out of the woods yet with Luka, right? Like, you end up putting together a bad roster, and then LeBron ends up leaving, and Luka's looking around going like, yeah, I need to get out of here, right? Like, that could be bad. Right? Lakers have several needs. Also, it's worth mentioning, like, do you get a center immediately in free agency? Like, can you go get a Clint Capella? Right? Because something that I've talked about is if you were to land a Clint Capella, right, it would make it easier to now go make a trade for a center. Why? Because based on reports, teams are trying to fleece the Lakers. Teams understand the Lakers are desperate for a center, right? So, and rightfully so, they should. That's their job, right? Try to get as much return. Hey, right now, you don't have a center on your roster, right? Like, so guess what? If you want ours, it's going to cost you. But if the Lakers get a guy like a Clint Capella, now they can go to those teams and be like, hey, look, Clint Capella, he's a starter. He can start. He's a double-double guy, and Luka's going to make him look amazing. He's the exact type of center we have. But we do still want a more long-term center, right? He's more in the short term. He's a guy that we'd have for the next, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. But, we want somebody that could be foundation piece, and we're more than happy to have him come off the bench as our primary backup. So we'd love your center. Right? Now you have more of a leverage point. But it's like, hey, if you don't want to trade your center, that's fine. If worst case scenario, we got to start Clint Capella, then we're more than happy to start Clint Capella. Right? And now teams got to make a decision. Right? Do we really want to run the risk of the Lakers starting to make other moves and other trades and just going with Clint Capella? Right? Because now if the Lakers go trade for an Andrew Wiggins, that might take the potential of them landing a Nick Claxton or something like that. So a team like the Nets might be like, ooh, like we really want to get off of Nick Claxton, right? So again, those kind of things could make some sense. But also the Lakers have so many needs. Right? And there is this sense of like urgency. And it's like, if the Lakers, if all these guys are getting signed, the Lakers are just kind of standing around when we're waiting. It's like, dude, come on, man. We need something to happen. I'm not saying Lakers have to sign everybody in day one, right? And a lot of guys like to take their time and kind of see where things kind of shape up. Usually within the first week, you kind of have an idea how things will shape up. There have been seasons where the Lakers have signed 2-3 guys like that. Very possible. But to me, I just think as long as day one starts, you can officially sign somebody. The very first thing you should be signing is a center, whether it's Capella, Luke Cornett, Brook Lopez, whomever. Sign that center that you have that at least now you can say, hey, whether the Lakers believe it or not, whether the Lakers actually want to do that or not, at least you can kind of show up to the party with like, hey, this is what we got, right? And now, again, now there's not as much pressure. At least you got a guy on the roster, right? And it's like, hey, we can always just go get another. We got Clint Capella. We can start Clint Capella, and there's still, let's say Luke Cornett's still available, and Jericho Sims and a Brook Lopez and all these guys. It's like, hey, we can just go Clint Capella and Brook Lopez, right? We don't, we're fine with that. We'd love to have your center, right? Because we want a younger, more long-term center, but we're not giving you Connect and a first and all this other stuff, right? We're doing you some favor, like especially with a team like Portland. It's like, you're going to lose all these guys anyway for nothing. Wouldn't you rather get something? Even if it's pick swaps, that's better than losing. Like, Ayton isn't going to stick around. You're just going to lose him for nothing. How many teams are lining up to pay Ayton, right? Probably none. So, again, it's just, or Robert Williams. Like, how many teams are lining up to give up multiple firsts for Robert Williams? Probably none. It's like, dude, like, take your pick. And if we have our center position locked up, guess what? That's one less team you have to go now land a center. And you have like 5 of them. Right? Same thing with Phoenix. It's like, dude, you have 5. You really want to go into free agency or into the start of the season with 5 centers? Right? Like, hey, we'll take Nick Richards off your hands. He's cheap enough. Somebody's going to have to pay him. We'll pay him. We'll figure it out. Right? And you kind of work it out in that manner. So, I really do think depending on how quickly, one, and when the Lakers actually get that done, I think will kind of dictate where we are at as far as like the type of trades and moves. Like, I think you'll get a much clearer picture within the first, couple hours. Oh, say that. Hopefully it's like immediately, but within the first couple hours, I think we'll have a clearer painted picture of like, okay, Lakers, again, signed a Clint Capella, perfect. Right now we're good. Now we're in great shape because especially now that LeBron opted in, now the Lakers know what they have to work with. Where till LeBron opts in, it kind of makes things tough because it's like, okay, well, what if he is willing to take that? What if he just leaves, right? Like, then I don't want to go sign this guy if he's just going to leave. And that's something else that the Lakers need to figure out too. Like, what does LeBron want to do? Right? Like, if I'm the Lakers, I need to have a real talk with LeBron James because you don't want to start signing guys and trading for guys, doing all this stuff with the assumption that LeBron James is sticking around for a year or two. Right? Like, that's the last thing you want. And then LeBron leaves or requests a trade, and it's like, dude, we just signed a center, and now what? Now you want to be traded to Cleveland? Like, who are we gonna? Now we're gonna have Jared Allen and Nick Claxton. Like, that doesn't make sense for us at that point, right? Like, so Lakers need to kind of figure out what are they doing with LeBron? What does LeBron want to happen? And obviously, again, if you get a Clint Capella, as long as you're signing him to a reasonable contract, like, you're fine. He can be your backup, worst case scenario. Right? It just depends on the moves that you can make. If you get some of these veteran guys like DeAnthony Melton, regardless, whether LeBron leaves or not, he makes sense. A Bruce Brown, whether LeBron leaves or not, he makes sense, right? Lakers need to but you want to kind of gauge, like, what is going to happen here. Like, this day is probably going to be very important for the Lakers to kind of dictate, like, what's going to happen, right? Because, you're going to have a lot of players just re-sign. You're already seeing it, right? Players re-sign with their current teams and stuff. And there's going to be guys that become available that we didn't think were going to be available. There's going to be guys that were on the market that weren't on the market, right? And also you got to keep in mind, a lot of teams are waiting to kind of see how things shape up and unfold before they go make that move on, like, okay, all right, fine, let's trade our center to the Lakers, right? Like, or let's trade this guy to Lakers. Like Miami, if they end up pulling a rabbit out of their hat and getting somebody, they might be like, all right, let's trade Andrew Wiggins to the Lakers because we want more cap flexibility, or we want this, or we want that. And now the Lakers might be able to get in place, right? So it just kind of depends. I think, within the first couple days for sure. I'm hoping on the first day for the Lakers, within the first couple hours, Lakers, boom, immediately got that center, that clear-cut center. That could really do some wonders for the Lakers. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Bare minimum, you got to sign a center. Even if it's, you got to sign in my opinion, you got to sign a center. There we go. Say that 10 times fast. You have to sign a center that you believe can start if he has to. That's why a guy like Clint Capella, even like a Luke Cornett, I think would be solid. Like a guy that I think you could start him if you needed to. Right? You need to get a guy that you would be comfortable with if worst case scenario, break glass case of emergency, we have him as our starter. Right? But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.